Hello everyone and welcome to the day 4 of our Hello Python series. I am Mayank Agarwal and in this video we are going to learn about data types in Python. So let's get started. So let us start with data types in Python. So to understand data types a little better, maybe you can think of intuitively a kitchen, right? So in a kitchen we have different jars as well as container for different purposes. We have the water bottle where we can just store water or like any other liquid. Similarly, we have a jar, or a container where we can store spices or any other particular thing. Similarly, we have the box for a butter where only the butter can be saved. In a similar way, Python actually makes sure, or any other programming language as well, defines or basically assigns a particular data type to your variable. Okay, so in the last class we did define variables like let's say a is equals to 10 or b is equals to Python, and we were able to define the same. But we have not specified that what we want our data type or what we want a variable to be, right? So now let us see that. Although a programmer actually is not mentioning the type, right? So we are not mentioning the particular type of our, I would say, variable while creating it. But Python actually internally does a lot of data type based on declaration style and value. Okay, so based on what value we are assigning to our data type to our variable, Python actually internally lots a data type to it. So we can check the same. We have the type function here through which we can check it. So type function and basically type of a. So if you'll see it is an int or integer, and types of b is a str or string, right? So internally Python actually assigns a data type to it. Now let us try to understand or basically learn about different data types. So overall is actually the below table largely summarizes the data types which are inbuiltly present in Python. So we have a text type where it is string. Then we have a numeric type where int, float and complex type of, I would say, numbers can be stored. Then in a similar way, we have sequence types such as list, tuple, range, okay, mapping type like dictionary, and then sets, boolean, binary, as well as none type. So we will be learning for most of them which are commonly used a lot more in depth in the upcoming classes. But for the time being, I want to make sure that I explain you few very important properties which are related to our data types, especially in Python. So let us see those properties. Now these properties, you will see there are three important points, okay, regarding our Python data types, and they are very important. Like I have seen even the seasoned professional who are working, they are also not exactly sure on these properties. So I want to make sure that when you actually do some project or go in the industry tomorrow, you have the basics clear. So the very first property is data types in Python are dynamic. The second one is size of data type is also dynamically managed. And the third one is data types are unbounded. Okay, so let us now understand them one by one. So the very first property which says that data points or data types in Python are dynamic, it actually means that the dynamic means that we can assign different value to the same variable at different point of time. Okay, so intuitively what you can do is you can think of, I would say, a shopping bag. So in a shopping bag today, you can maybe bring out the groceries and stuff, right? So today you are bringing out or you are bringing groceries into that. But tomorrow what you can do is you can maybe go and I would say bring some other material like books into that. Okay, so one day you are using it for groceries and other day you are using it for books. So it has a dynamic property, right? It is not limited to one, I would say, particular type. In a similar way, Python actually also dynamically change the type of variable as per the value given. So to understand the same in the practical, let us see that. So let's say my a as of now is just 10. Okay, so it is an integer, right? It has been assigned a data type of integer. Now what Python actually allows me to do, and which is very different from other languages like Java, C, C++, is that I can now assign a string to my this particular variable as well. And if you will see now, it has been actually changed its type. So the type actually becomes dynamic, where now it is storing a string. Okay, so that is a very important property and kind of, I would say, related to Python only. And basically you have to also understand one more thing, that this property is very much advantageous because tomorrow you don't have to actually care that what kind of variable you're getting. Okay, you can make sure that you will be you can store it into any particular type because we are not defining the type of our variable while we are initializing our particular variable. Okay, so that's the first property. Now the second property, which says that size of the data type is also dynamically managed. Now in Python, the size of data type is something which is also managed dynamically. Now to explain the size actually in C, C++ and Java, variables are actually of fixed size. Okay, so let's say if you are defining an integer, it is having a value as 4, and then basically it makes sure that okay, it can just store a particular, I would say, range, a number still a particular range. But unlike in Python, we actually can, Python actually can, I would say, make the storage of our particular variable as big as required based on demand. Okay, so Python makes variable as big as required based on demand. Okay, so the question, okay, this blue one actually is the question. So how much memory Python uses to store a particular variable? That's actually not the right question in terms of Python. Okay, so above question is wrong if Python increases or decreases as per the value assigned. So for the same, actually what we can do is now we can import a module. Now, of course, you will remember the module from the last class. And if you are actually, I would say, enjoying the way I'm teaching the things sequentially with such good handwritten notes as well as code, please make sure that you like the video, share it with your friend, and also subscribe to the channel, and so that you never miss a video on this Hello Python series as well as other awesome series which will be coming in future. Okay, so now let us see some example for the same. What we will be doing is, first I will import this sys module. Okay, so we have already seen that how module works and how we can import the same. Now in this particular module, okay, let me define one, let's say c, which is equals to 500 as of now. Now sys dot get size of, this will help me to get the particular size of my variable. Okay, as of now it shows that it is 28, and if you remember, we can press shift tab to see that, okay, where it is returning. So it is returning the size of my object in bytes. So okay, so as of now it is 28 bytes. Now if let's say I'm storing or making the value a lot big, something like this, then if I try to get the size again, let us see. Okay, so it is still 28, no worries. Let us make it a little bit more big. Okay, so let me just multiply it by 1,000,000 maybe, right? So we see, okay, c is a lot big now, and if we do it now, sys get size of, and now it has actually been changed to 32. Okay, so you have seen that size actually have been dynamically increased by Python based on the value. So it decreases and increases based on our particular demand or our usage. You can intuitively think of a balloon. Okay, so the way balloon actually fills up or basically expand if we are putting more air into it, and if we are getting the air out, then balloon also contracts the size. That's the best I would say analogy to remember this particular property of Python. If we will increase it further, if we are going to increase it further, okay, then let's say c is equals to c into c, then it's gonna, of course, basically increase the size a little further, right? On the other hand, if we decrease the size, see it is 40 now, and if I make it 10 again maybe, okay, then if I do the same thing, sys dot get size of, and it is 28 again. Okay, so that's another property about data types in Python, which is very important to always remember. The last property which we discussed was that data types are unbounded. Okay, so that is like kind of intuitive from the last, I would say, particular property, but you have to still understand that Python data type, okay, they are like integers or don't have any value, don't have any range. Okay, that is very much different from the way we have in C, C++ and Java and other programming language, where a particular type of data, because it is defined, the size is fixed. Okay, so it has a range associated to it. It cannot store number greater than that. Okay, but in Python, our data types are like balloons, not like a jar exactly. The jar which can just hold, I would say, up to a particular range. Okay, so unlike C, C++, they don't have a minimum or a maximum value. Int type can store as many digits as we want. Okay, and we have actually seen the same in the example. Okay, so let's say if I'm making C this big, so let me just do something for you. Yeah, and maybe we can make it this big as well, and it's gonna completely run fine. Okay, because we know that as the size can get increased, okay, overall the value is also unbounded, so no limit on the minimum value as well as on the maximum value. Okay, so I hope all these properties are a lot clear now. Again, they are very important to understand because they make sure that your basics are clear. Now in the next coming classes of our Hello Python series, we will make sure, okay, that we learn about the commonly used data types very much in detail, okay, so that we can solve question as well as use them in code and our projects, and also make sure that any particular problem or doubt which we have by combining or operators, the way they interact, we are able to solve the same. Okay, so thanks a lot everyone. Make sure that you subscribe the channel, leave the comment if you're liking the videos or if you want me to improve anything. Just one thing, please make sure that you download these notes as well as the code which I'm doing. So you'll find the link of that in the captions. And yeah, share and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss any update from me, as I'm making an awesome content on these as well as different topics in tech. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's meet in the next class. Thank you.